Okay. Good evening, everyone.
Just go right to me.
Okay, so no more, we don't have to do roll call?
No.
No? Okay, all right, I thought maybe we had to resume. Okay, city
All right.
managers report?
First up is a discussion, short presentation by Deputy Mayor Canestrino regarding the Teterboro Airport update.
Okay, thanks, Vinnie. Yes, we had our quarterly meeting at, with the Tannic Group at Teterboro Airport, and I always like to just give a short briefing as to what was accomplished at the meeting. It was pretty much, the year-end report, so we went over numbers for the entire year 2024. Just to give you some idea, the runway we're most concerned with is runway 19, and, we get the bulk of the arrivals there. So in 2024, we saw 37,000 arrivals coming in on runway 19 across Summit Avenue, Prospect Avenue, Hiller School, the path that we're pretty much always accustomed to using. This quarter alone, there was 10,000 arrivals, and of the 10,000 arrivals, only 35 of them used the alternate path that we've been proposing for the last number of years that would alleviate a lot of the traffic by flying over Route 17. And of those 35, 30 of them were used at night, so once again, we're not seeing any real daytime relief. The noise monitor that's up at the hospital increased by 0.9 decibels over last year, so we're now looking at an average noise level of 63.2 decibels on Prospect Ave. Complaints, you know how we're always in competition with Rutherford? Well, we've gotten a little lazy, all right? Rutherford had 2,100 complaints logged last year, and we only had 950. So we got to get back. I know it's frustrating to log complaints and not feel that you're getting any action from them, but it really does help. When they have the data and they have the noise complaints from folks, it really does help give credibility to what we're trying to do. All right, now there is some good news. I'd been asking to head up a subgroup, what we're calling a focus group, to talk specifically about runway 19. Because the issue is, to be quite honest, I'm part of this organization, I'm part of this group, I go to all of their meetings. We meet quarterly, and the meeting lasts about an hour and a half. So talking about runway 19, maybe I'm lucky if I get 10 minutes, and that's not enough time to be able to really make this work. So I asked if I could head up a subgroup, which we're calling a focus group, and we would meet monthly, and we would talk only about runway 19. And really, it's in my opinion, you can't fix a problem if you don't know what the problem is. And, we've been told story after story as to why they're not using this alternate flight path. And I think we have to really focus on what the issue is and how we can deal with it. Where we are now, the last problem that we were seeing was really being attributed to the air traffic controllers, that they were just too busy to be able to manage another path into Teterboro on top of all of their other work. So I also have some good news on that behalf. Is air traffic control for Teterboro Airport, including in the areas and including Newark Airport, came out of an organization called TRACON that was housed in Long Island. They've been having issues, the FAA has been having issues for the last number of years with getting enough air traffic controllers to man that effectively in Long Island. And what the FAA will say to us is, the cost of living is such in Long Island where it's located, and the justification of the salaries, it's very difficult for people that live in that area to be willing to do that type of work. So they've been in the process, and now they've accomplished this, they have now opened up the air traffic controller group in Philadelphia. So we have some people that transferred to Philly, and we have new folks that were very eager to get on board. So it sounds like we're going to have a better selection and more active members of the air traffic controllers now that they're in Philadelphia. And they kind of got my hopes up, and it takes a lot because I get frustrated with them. They actually told me that they took one morning and they dedicated it to using the alternate flight path. Now, that's what we want. That's what we've been asking for a very long time, is to get pilots to use it, to get feedback if there's any issues, and then to fix that feedback, fix whatever the problems are from that feedback. So they're assuring me that we're going to try to do this on a regular basis, and I'm hoping with my focus group that we'll be able to make sure that happens, analyze that data, get to what the real problem is, and hopefully by the summertime, wouldn't it be wonderful to have some relief? So I don't want to be too promising, but this is the best news we've had on this in a very long time. So happy to report, and if anyone has any questions about this, later you can certainly ask me, and I'll try and help you.
Okay. Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Number 2 is related to Kaplan Avenue. On tonight is a consenting resolution to the county to limit left turns from Polyfly Road, which was something that we are working in conjunction with some speed humps on Kaplan Avenue for those residents that have made a lot of complaints. But the county has agreed to allow a no left turn during certain hours from Polyfly Road, and basically during the morning rush and the afternoon commute back home. So this is going to move forward, and then right after that will be the speed humps on that street.
I mean, if I can interrupt, any folks here from Kaplan Ave, raise your hand? Okay, so this is good news. This is good news, folks, and I think then we got to talk about this at the council meeting too, in case other
Okay.
people are here.
Sure.
But this is a step in the right direction. We've been trying really hard to get some of this stuff done, and that's great news, Vinnie. I'm really happy to hear that.
Yep. Also on tonight is an ordinance to name the gallery at the Hackpack in honor of Ruth Bauer Nudstatter. Is that correct? As you know, we had some discussions about this back in December, and tonight the ordinance is on, so we can officially have it named after her, and then we'll have a dedication ceremony once we have everything ready and the plaques are done and everything.
So well deserved. I mean, Ruth was the one who really made this happen. When we first opened the Cultural Arts, we really didn't have a lot of money left over to do something downstairs, and really turning it into an art gallery, she was really a driving force behind it. So I think it's great that we're able to do this for her. Well deserved.
Awesome. Number 4 is a memorandum of understanding between the HUMC and our health department for health education services. This is just a formality for to get that in place. Number 5 is a Department of Community Affairs Recreation Improvement Grant of $100,000, which will be applied to Fashini Park. And number 6, last but not least, is a presentation by our city engineer, Chris Wheaton, regarding the combined sewer and construction projects update.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Jumping into our projects, just an update. Our Fashini Park bids have been extended a couple of weeks to address some questions raised by proposers, by bidders. So that bid date is now February 14th. And also to this overview, I've added the Lot A improvements and the Johnson Park Sports site work to our overview. Getting into our sewer separation projects, again, we're working presently in the pink area on the Anderson Street drainage area. The light blue area is our next project that we are getting ready to start, and we anticipate that will be bidding in the spring this year. Yeah, next slide, please. And all of that work on the slide prior speaks to the work that the city has done in terms of implementation of improvements for our long-term control plan. The long-term control plan is a document that was mandated by EPA and the state of New Jersey by its enforcement powers in enforcing our pollutant discharge permit that regulates our CSO facilities, which are the Court Street overflow facility and the Anderson Street overflow facility. So this long-term control plan has been in the works. It's taken quite some time with DEP to negotiate and do the study and analysis required to develop the long-term control plan. So it involves system characterization, the evaluation of alternatives, significant public participation, and workshops with the public and the Bergen County Utilities Authority CSO group, and then the selection of the plan. It's a 30-year plan. As I noted, New Hackensack is really at the forefront and might I say poster child for New Jersey DEP in terms of its advancement of long-term control plan projects. We are far and away ahead of other municipalities. So the plan involves sewer separation projects, green stormwater infrastructure projects, as well as underground stormwater storage. And we had a signing ceremony for this document, signing the compliance agreement for the long-term control plan yesterday. Our CSO separation project at Anderson Street is wrapping up. We are just completing catch basins on Clay Street at Railroad Place, and we are anticipate doing base paving on Clay Street from Railroad Place to West Railroad Ave this week, and the remainder of the site restoration and paving will be done in the spring when weather is conducive. So we're just in the final stages of this Anderson Street separation project. Other sewer contracts involve the East Kennedy Pump Station generator. That generator has been installed, and the commissioning and startup is scheduled for February 11th and 12th, at which point the generator will be automatically engaged and in service as needed. We are also doing Jefferson Street unplanned sewer repairs due to conditions observed and some recent failures in the area. We have completed closed-circuit television of the pipeline in advancement of the trenchless pipe repair and point repairs that are needed. While most of it is trenchless, there's about 1,200 and more feet of trenchless repairs that's going to take place. There is also some excavation required for main repair and manhole replacement, and that work is starting next week. And our FEMA flood hazard mitigation project for Green Street, we did just receive authorization from FEMA to move forward with the detailed design phase of the pump station and interceptor sewers. So that's a green light that FEMA is going to reimburse us for all the work that the city has done up to this point in terms of modeling and assessment of the area, all of that CCTV that we did do, and an investigation to confirm the baseline of the existing system that we need to improve. So that's a go. And we are planning a more detailed presentation for the council coming up soon.
Can you give us a dollar amount on that? What would be receiving back?
I believe it's about $3 million.
That'll be nice, Vin. Thank you.
Next slide, please. In parks, we are working at on the drainage project at Polyfly Park. Again, we're just working in the street, trying to complete our final crossing and tie-in of of the storm drain there across Polyfly. And PSE&G is working on their gas offset this week that's interfering with the pipe route. That work should be completed this week, and as well as our pipe installation. And then the final site restoration here will be in the spring. Johnson Park Sports Complex, the indoor soccer and athletic facility that's planned for Johnson Park we have already bid, as we've discussed, the structure for the field house that will go over the fields, and then there's a counterpart contract in the site and utility work. So that contract is just wrapping up and will be out to bid this month. We're also bidding presently Fashini Park for ball field improvements at fields 8, 9, and 10. And again, that's new turf fields, it's under drains for the fields, batting and pitching tunnels, bleachers, sports lighting, and the bid opening again is now for February 14th. In roads and traffic, our Prospect Ave pedestrian safety project, we are awaiting the delivery, or really the completion of manufacture of the rapid flashing beacon signal that's planned to go in at Thompson Street. The Hawk, or high intensity crosswalk signal at Atlantic shown there is installed, but we are awaiting PSE&G's scheduling for power up and startup of that equipment. Also in roads and traffic, we are bidding Lot A, which is it's a city parking lot at the corner of Mercer and State, and involves milling and paving, ADA compliant ramps and curbs and sidewalks, as well as improvements to the garage entry driveway at Atlantic Street. And the bid opening for this will be March 5th. And City Manager just mentioned Kaplan Ave. Again, that's encouraging. I hadn't heard that news that the county had accepted the proposal for the left turn. So that's great. And we are presently soliciting quotes from contractors to install the speed humps. And just a public notice that NJDOT has scheduled a virtual public information center, which is an online process where the public can go in and review the plans and provide comments. This is for the Route 4 bridge replacement between Hackensack and Teaneck. And so this information center is open this week and next week, and then it will close. So this project is in final design. Construction is anticipated to start in 2026 and take 3 to 4 years, even with accelerated bridge construction. And that's everything that I have, unless you have any other questions or further information that you'd like.
Anybody questions?
The only question that I got, now that I can see that they're gonna do that bridge in Route 4, they're supposed to fix first the bridge that between Hackensack and Teaneck.
Anderson Street Bridge?
Yes, they
That's
should fix that one first, because if you need help from Teaneck to get a fire truck, they gotta go all the way up by Route 4 because they're not allowed to go over the
Right.
bridge.
Right. That project is in development. It's not in final design yet. I believe that's preliminary design that project is in, and it's not a DOT project. That's a county project run under a different funding and procurement process.
Okay?
Okay,
Okay.
thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
Maybe
That's all I
before-
have.
Before we open up to the public, I see some more of our Kaplan Avenue
Yeah,
folks
that's,
Yes.
showed, so
Yes.
you want to just share a little bit?
Sure.
again?
We, as you know, we engaged an engineer to do a study on Kaplan Avenue. for both the speed humps as well as the looking into a no left turn from a certain time in the morning to a certain time in the afternoon off of Polyfly Road. Our engineers submitted the report to us recommending both. Because Polyfly Road is a county road, we had to submit it to them because they have to be the ones who would actually put the signage there and approve the left turn. And surprisingly, after my phone call, they got back to me in a day or two and have approved it. They are passing a resolution on, with the county freeholders, or commissioners now, we can't call them freeholders anymore. And then we're passing a resolution tonight, what's called a consenting resolution, which is in support of the county's determination, so that will be done. And like our city engineer just said, we're soliciting quotes right now for the design, or we already have the design, what we're going to put the speed humps on Kaplan Avenue and where, so, and what that's going to cost. So that's where we're at. So I would say probably before the spring, the speed humps should be there, and I would say another month or so for the county resolution and the signage. Okay?
And the left turn is agreed. I mean, it's in the
Yes.
mornings, it's not all day, it's in the
Right,
mornings.
it's 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. and from 2 p.m. to
Before.
3 to 6.
3 to 6.
3 to 6 in the afternoon, yeah.
You're welcome.
Your hard work helped.
Our hard work.
Yeah.
Look, at the end of the day, it's the safety, and again, you know, it's the constant speeding up and down the block, and I wanna applaud you guys, and thank you for listening to us and allowing us to come in and express our feeling as homeowners on the block, and hopefully nobody gets hurt.
Well, we love to be able to share good news, so when I saw you walk in, I knew you'd be happy to hear it, so.
Thank you very much. I'll still stick around for your meeting.
Of course, of course. With that, can I have a motion to open to the public?
Offer?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? None. All right, anyone who wishes to speak, please come forward and give your name and address to the clerk, and you'll have 3 minutes.
Okay.
All right, seeing no one? Oh, come forward, please, sir, yes.
I just had a question on one of the slides where you cited FEMA. Didn't President Trump shut FEMA down?
Not yet.
Oh, not yet.
Not yet.
All right, just thought I'd check.
Can I have your name, sir?
Pedro Cruz.
Thank you.
What do you want?
Anyone else? Seeing none, can I have a motion to close?
Offer?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone wish to speak, or you want to wait till the
No,
council?
we wait to it.
All right, so can I have a motion to close the committee of the whole?
Offer?
Oh, executive session first, I'm sorry. Committee, let's close the executive session first.
Offer?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Hang on one
Oh.
second. Usually Steve says what,
Litigation?
litigation.
I don't think we talked about
I don't think we talked about it, right?
Talk about Douglas.
What is the Voorhees one?
We talked about some of the litigation involving J Visuals versus the city of Hackensack, as well as Casti and Salazar versus the city of Hackensack. And I think there was some mention of the workers' compensation case, which I'm not familiar with the title of.
Thank you, Mary Ann. All right, again, so I have an offer to close the executive session.
Offer?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. None opposed? Now can I have a motion to close the committee of the whole?
Offer?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. None opposed? That's it, Deb? Okay, so we'll see everyone shortly,
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock. Folks, I'm just going to give us a couple of more minutes because I understand people are still downstairs waiting to come up in the elevator. So normally we'd stop promptly at 8. I'm just going to wait a minute or two and make sure everyone who wants to be here is here, okay? So continue talking and I'll tap again when everyone else arrives. Good evening, everyone. Deb?
This meeting is being held in accordance with the Open Public Meeting Act, NJSA 10:4-6 et sec, notice of which was sent to the record in the Star Ledger and was posted on the municipal bulletin board.
Roll call.
Councilmember Von Rudenberg.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Here.
Councilmember Pataglia.
Here.
Councilmember Carroll.
Here.
Mayor LaBrus is absent.
Would everyone stand for the flag salute? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we have 2 proclamations and presentations tonight. The mayor apologizes for not being here. His wife had knee surgery today, so just stuck with me. All right, first I'm going to ask the representatives from the Bethel Church of God in Christ to come up here with me. Come join us. Come join us, just fill in, we're all friends. Oh, we have something to do. You have your phone, you have something. Marlene, did you take a picture for them? You have a phone or something? I have somebody that will take a picture for you. Welcome, welcome. Okay, come on, folks, fill in. Come on, don't be afraid, we're happy to have you. Okay, we're here to honor a very, very special event for the church. This is their 100th anniversary. I mean, definitely worth celebrating. And I'm going to introduce Pastor Smith, and I'd say we are so blessed. I'm going to read this first. I, Kathleen Canestrino, Deputy Mayor of the City of Hackensack, along with members of the City Council and the Mayor, do hereby issue this proclamation to recognize the 100th anniversary of the Bethel Church of God in Christ and express our recognition and appreciation for their time and commitment in service to God, church, and our community. Amen. Amen. And I'm going to introduce Pastor Smith, who would like to say a few words.
I just want to say thank you to the mayor and the deputy mayor for this great opportunity. We are so pleased to be here. We're thankful to God for allowing us to come to 100th year. And this is 101st year. I was just thinking about the events that took place in 1924. Someone tried to scale Mount Everest, and that did not work successfully, but it has been scaled. But we have scaled a church over the years, and God has blessed us to reach 100 years old. And we plan to do a lot more. And you are welcome to join us. You are welcome to join us. The deputy mayor has allowed us to leave a brochure and a flyer on the table out there that you can learn more about the church. So we heartily invite you to just learn about Bethel Church of God in Christ. And you are welcome to come on Sundays. We also have services on Tuesday evening and Thursday evening. Mayor, thank you so much. Deputy Mayor.
Okay.
Deputy Mayor, thank you so much. And I realize you have an engineering background.
Yes, I do.
I have an engineering background too, so praise God.
So, like kinds.
Yes, yes.
So we're so pleased to have you and have all of you, some of your parishioners here. And again, congratulations on 100 years.
There's one thing I like to do, is just always like to introduce Mother Harris. She is 92 years old, 92 years old. So, and folks, she didn't walk up the steps. She didn't walk up the steps. I think she could have, but I'm glad she didn't. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And here you go, this is for you. And there's, on your way out at the small table, there's information about the church, should you like to pick it up. Thank you. Thanks so much for coming. Have a wonderful night.
And Deputy Mayor, their service that Sunday was fantastic. I attended their service.
Thank you so much.
And that service was fantastic that Sunday.
Thank you.
Appreciate you inviting me.
Thank you, Jerry, that is nice. 100 years.
Yes, it was, they had a very big
Celebration, I bet, yeah.
It was really nice.
Oh, that's nice to hear, that's nice to hear. Okay, and we're also here to honor our dear Miss Whitaker. I mean, where do you begin? I mean, a woman to be so well admired and so well respected, and to dedicate her life of service not only to her church, but to her to the children. And I mean, woman to woman, think of the wonderful role model she was, you know, for everyone, but especially for the young women in our city. And, you know, the service at Mount Olive, I have to say, it was awe-inspiring. I said, I think I might have to change churches. I mean, it was just, I loved every moment of it. And to see so many people so heartfelt about her and her life. And one of my favorite parts was the children that came and spoke about her. And one of the things that I really loved the most was when they talked about how stylish she was and how her shoes always matched her outfit. And that is exactly the picture of her that I will always remember. And you know, today you see women in business, and many of you know my career was in aerospace engineering, and 30-something years ago, women in aerospace engineering, a lot of them tried to dress like men, you know, oh, I want to fit in. Not me, I had the pink blazer on. So I love the outfits that Miss Whitaker also wore, and that the children even came to appreciate. It was part of who she was. So I'm also going to ask Stephanie von Rudenberg, our councilwoman, is away on a business trip, but she's here on Zoom. You there, Steph?
I'm here. I'm sorry I couldn't be with everyone in person.
Well, Stephanie's 3 children had the pleasure of coming through Nellie K. Parker School. So I'm going to ask her to also pay tribute before I read the proclamation and invite others to speak, because now we're talking firsthand to a mother whose children who got to live through and experience life in a school under Miss Whitaker. Steph?
Yes. Again, I'm sorry for not being there in person, but I felt this was just very important to be part of to honor Miss Whitaker. I met Miss Whitaker in 2017 when my oldest transferred to Parker School from Fairmont. And anyone that knew him, he was a crier. He cried and cried every day going to school since pre-K. And that stopped when he got to Parker School. And I know why that is. There are so many wonderful things said about Miss Whitaker, and they're all true. I'm not fortunate enough to know her as long as everybody else, but the short time that I knew her, the one thing, and I think everyone could attest to this, I will always remember her hugs. As an educator, she was not afraid to hug those children, and those children needed hugs. My son was one of them. And I firmly believe he stopped crying because he felt safe and he felt welcome by Miss Whitaker. And her hugs weren't just one of those hugs, like a hi, how you doing hug. It was a hug where she embraced you and you felt the warmth from her. It was just a comforting hug. And I think that all children need that. And as a prior educator, I understand why people don't like to hug. There's a lot of things, but I commend her and I appreciate her for always hugging those children. And I think that they just felt that warmth in her. And I did too whenever I saw her. As likely of her to hug somebody, it was also amazing when she had a room full of hundreds of students and adults, and all she had to do was put those famous fingers up, and that room quieted down within seconds. So she was the ultimate role model as an educator, as an administrator. She was full of warmth and love, but at the same time, she demanded and commanded respect, and she got it from students, parents, teachers alike, and she will be sorely missed. She was just a wonderful, wonderful person, and no one will ever fill her shoes at Parker School.
Thank you, Steph. I'm going to read the proclamation from the city, and then I'm going to invite anyone here in the audience that would wish to come up and share a story or say a few words about the wonderful life and the wonderful woman that will be sorely missed in this city. My glasses on if I'm going to read it. Whereas the Hackensack City Council extends its heartfelt condolences and recognizes the profound impact of Lillian Whitaker, who served as the beloved principal of Nellie K. Parker Elementary School and passed away on December 31st, 2024. Known as the Mother Teresa of the class, Lillian was deeply committed to education and had an unwavering dedication to her students and community, an influence that will be remembered for generations. And whereas Lillian Whitaker exemplified what it means to be a dedicated public servant, her legacy will continue to inspire educators, students, and families throughout our community. She was not just a principal. She was a mentor, a leader, and a friend to so many. And whereas Principal Whitaker devoted over 4 decades to nurturing the minds and hearts of young learners in our city, her passion for education was evident in every interaction, as she created a nurturing and inclusive environment that encouraged both academic excellence and personal growth. Under her leadership, Nellie K. Parker Elementary School became a model of innovation, creativity, and community. And now, therefore, I, Kathleen Canestrino, Deputy Mayor of the City of Hackensack, along with the Mayor and members of the City Council, do hereby mourn the loss of Lillian Whitaker. We also celebrate her extraordinary life and lasting influence on our community. Her spirit will live on in the countless individuals she inspired and the positive changes that she brought to our schools. Now, if you'll form a line here and anyone wants to come up and share a story of her or have anything to say to the community about Ms. Whitaker, you're welcome to do so.
Can I say something?
Sure.
I got a picture in my phone. Mrs. Whitaker was the teacher of Leo when Leo was in second grade, 1985 to 86. You know, she was the teacher of my other son Giovanni. So I used to talk to Mr. Whitaker many, many times. He was a wonderful teacher, a wonderful person. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that, Leo. Yes.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Lance Powell, 395 Golf Place, Hackensack, New Jersey. So I'm still grieving the loss of Ms. Whitaker. We were living in Teaneck, and my son was going to a charter school. And the charter school, they had a separate break from the school system here. So he was home for a week. So I said, what am I going to do with him for a week? Because I had to work and stuff. So I said, you know what? Let me walk around the school. And I popped in, never knew Miss Whitaker. And I said, I have this little kid at home. What can I just let him come to school like for a week? Because we had just moved from Teaneck to Hackensack. And she said, sure, just like that, no hesitation. She said, if you live here, you can go to school here. And we had moved from Teaneck to Hackensack. Long story short, my son never went back to the charter school. It's a true story. So after the week, I went back and said, okay, thank you for everything. We're ready to take him back. She said, no, he's now mine. And she kept my son. He went through the elementary school, went through the middle school, high school, college. He's graduating in a couple months with a master's degree. And it's Miss Whitaker. And every time she came up my block, she lived right around the corner, so she was practically my neighbor. I don't know if anyone knows about Miss Whitaker. I've never seen her drive fast. She always came around the corner, cruised on up the block, and as soon as she see me, she stopped. The window went down, and that smile, that captivating smile would just light up, it would light up any dark night. And she would say, how is my boy? And when he came home from college, I said, guess what, Dylan? He frowned. Miss Whitaker needs to see you. And he went to visit her, sat in her office. And a lot of people don't know that she had a caring spirit for every kid. But she loved Dylan, and I'm sure she loved all the kids. And the angels in heaven are rejoicing. They are. So it's a loss for us. They're partying with Miss Whitaker, and we're here very sad. And I miss her, not just for what she did for my son, but I was on the board for 6 years, and she inspired me to be on the school board. She was like, why don't you just go run for the board? And every time we talked, and she encouraged me, my family. And then my mom volunteered at the school. And it was just one big family. But God knows best. God knows best. But Miss Whitaker, I'll never forget you, and we will never forget you. And to the family, I just want to say thank you for giving Miss Whitaker to us and sharing us with us for such a long time. She's an icon. She's a celebrity in her own right. I'm an educator myself, but my accomplishments are nothing to what Miss Whitaker has achieved. And she was not just an educator, but she was a mom. She did her thing. God bless her. May her soul rest in peace. But I'll never forget Miss Whitaker for the rest of my life. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Mrs. Whitaker was my 5th grade teacher in Fairmount. And I was in for a rude awakening. It's kind of sad for me to say this, but the biggest memories that I have of Mrs. Whitaker was after school. Because I was always after school. And I tended to make things harder on myself instead of just trying to do the work. But Mrs. Whitaker, she never gave up on any kid, and she never gave up on me. So one particular day, I think I told DJ this story too. I was at the school, so doing some, I forget what was the assignment, something I didn't hand in or something I just didn't do, probably didn't want to do. She made me sit there and made me do it until I got it done. I remember my dad coming to come pick me up, and she said, "Oh, no, don't worry about it. I'll bring him home." I said, "Dang, she's going to bring me home?" So, yeah, she brought me home that day. And, you know, but I say this, though, because it's, you know, it's something that as I got older, I realized, like, you know, wow, like, she really cared. And when I became a football coach and she, you know, realized I was coaching, there were certain kids that were going to LEK, and she would, you know, let me know, you know, if she did see me or if I did get in contact with her about, you know, the kids at the school and what they were doing and things like that. So I just can never forget her. She was a great inspiration for all of us. All the things that we did when we was in Fairmount, the fundraisings that we did for the African countries. I think we did Rwanda one year. We had a trip to go to the UN. Like, I remember a lot of things that we did collectively, you know, that 5th grade year. And, you know, it's just memories that I can't never, you know, let go. She was just a phenomenal woman and basically like a bonus mom. She made sure that everybody was good all the time. There was one assignment that she gave us one year. Well, that one year, I had her multiple years. I only had her 1 year. But the year I was there, she made us do a I Have a Dream speech, something that inspired us and things that we want to see as kids or as growing up, things that we want to do, things that we dream of doing. And I remember that particular day, she wasn't really happy about something that we did, I guess, as a class. But as we did our presentation for the I Have a Dream speech, that all turned away, and she felt so proud of us, you know, for what we, you know, did, you know, for that particular assignment. So Mrs. Whitaker was the best teacher I ever had. You know, I could say that, you know, the best teacher I ever had. So I miss her. I miss her. God bless her. God bless the family. You know, like, we lost a good one. We lost a good one. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Courtney Johnson Suffern. I am the president of the Bergen County NAACP. I've known Miss Whitaker, Aunt Lil, since I moved to Hackensack from Englewood. She was my best friend's mom. She was an educator. She was my choir director. There's so much that can be said about her. But she will definitely be missed. When she was going through her treatments, the Bergen County NAACP does a Angel Tree program where we adopt some students, underserved youth, that we can bless with some Christmas gifts. And in that, we're different because we reach out to someone, it was Ms. Whitaker in this case, to identify some students that she thought could use some extra help. And she was out of work, but she was so concerned about her students. She made sure that we got everything we needed so that we would be able to deliver them specific gifts that we sent out a survey and that they requested, and that they would have something, not worried about what she was currently going through. So there's so many things that, you know, anybody can say about her, but her strength was immeasurable and her love was immense. So this honor is definitely befitting her, and I really appreciate what you've done here. Thank you.
Good.
Good evening to everyone. Congratulations to Bethel on 100 years of serving. Certainly, there's so much that we could say about Lillian Whitaker. I've had the privilege of experiencing her on so many different levels. The choir director at church who made sure that you sang every word exactly right. And if you didn't, she made you practice and sing it again. I had the privilege of being an employee of hers. And as much as we were close and knew each other, she treated me no different than she treated the rest of the staff. I wasn't anybody special. When I was there, I was a staff member. But I had the privilege of sharing with her as an older sister. And she has been a blessing to me. I don't think there are many major decisions that I've made in my life without talking to my parents and talking to her, because she was that sounding board that allowed me to be able to hear myself think out loud. And so I think there are so many people in Hackensack that could probably say the same thing about her. There are a lot of kids who are grown-ups today because of her. There are adults who learned how to parent because of her. There are adults whose lives are just amazing today because of her. And Hackensack is a better place because of her. And so we are very grateful for all that she has poured into the city of Hackensack. And the blessing about Mother Teresa is that her legacy will live on in every child that has ever crossed her path, every staff member that she has supervised, every person that has been an adopted niece, sister, child. Everybody thought they were her best friend. And they all didn't find out until later. She had a lot of best friends. But we are better in Hackensack because of her. She bled blue and gold, and we are grateful for that. And so we thank you for this honor for her, and we're believing that her legacy will continue to live on.
With that, is there a family member that I could hand this off to? Would you come up to receive the plaque? Thank you. I'm so sorry for your loss. I'm so sorry. Would you like to say something? Or are you good?
Just like to say on behalf of the family, thank you guys. Appreciate it, thank you.
Thank you for having, let us have a I'm going to take a couple of minutes. We're going to get into business, and we'd love for you all to stay for our business. But if any of you here want to make an exit, you certainly are welcome to do so, and then we'll continue with the regular meeting.
Deputy Mayor, before anybody leaves, I didn't know if you wanted to mention about the resolution that's on the meeting.
Yes.
Because they may want to stay for that, or if you want to do it now.
Do it now.
We'll have to
One
do it
second.
as far as part of business, but you can let them read it.
1 second.
You can read it.
I almost forgot, so hold on 1 second, folks, because this is important, you're gonna wanna hear this. We're passing a resolution tonight, you don't have to stay for it, because I will read it now aloud. We have a resolution that's commemoratively renaming Club Way to Lillian Whitaker Way. And I'm just going to read through it very quickly. Whereas Lillian Whitaker was a lifelong resident of Hackensack, born in Hackensack, baptized at Mount Olive Baptist Church, graduating from the Hackensack school system, and working in the Hackensack School District for nearly 5 decades. And whereas Lillian Whitaker started her lifelong career in Hackensack as a music teacher at Fairmount School, and then taught 2nd and 5th grades before becoming principal of the Nellie K. Parker School, where every student and staff member was touched by her kindness, love, empathy, and respect. Whereas Lillian Whitaker was not only a vital part of the Hackensack school community, but also a faithful steward in the pillars of the community as a Golden Life member of Delta Sigma Theta sorority for over 40 years. A charter member of the National Council of Negro Women, Greater Bergen County section, and a lifelong member of Mount Olive Baptist Church, where she was the music director, working with the church choirs for 23 years, and also served as the director of Sunrise Choir at Bethany Baptist Church in Newark for 34 years. Whereas a ceremonial street naming is a gesture that will stand the test of time and a perfect way to commemorate the absolute and timeless impact that Lillian Whitaker made in our community. And whereas Lillian Whitaker Way will symbolize the beautiful story of Lillian Whitaker's life and the profound impact and influence she had on the city of Hackensack. Now therefore be it resolved that the mayor and council of the city of Hackensack, in order to memorialize the legacy of Lillian Whitaker, hereby commemoratively renames Club Way to Lillian Whitaker Way. Yes. Thanks for reminding me. Right now, those of you that wish to leave, thank you so much for coming, and thank you those who spoke about her. We all appreciated hearing it tonight.
and cozy. It's a small, cozy church.
And they're nice.
Oh, very nice.
They're nice too.
Found my
Although,
uncle goes
I'm
there.
telling you, at Mount Olive, I was so impressed. I mean, the singing, the music,
Oh, yeah.
the energy that went on there was, it
That's
just,
my church.
it was wonderful. It was just really wonderful that so many people came out for it. Okay, so we need approval of the minutes. Was everyone here January 7th? Stephanie wasn't here. Okay, Steph, you can't vote on this?
Yes. Yeah, I'm on.
Okay, so I need a motion to approve the minutes from the January 7th Committee of the Whole, Executive, and regular meeting.
Is he gonna continue saying offer or what? Okay.
She wasn't here, so she shouldn't offer this anyway.
Okay.
No, continue doing
Offer.
what you guys are doing, offer and seconding.
Yeah, she said continue you and Jerry.
Yeah, okay.
So you offered?
Offer, yeah, I offer already.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
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 None opposed? All right, city managers report.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. The Recreation Department is happy to announce a new dance program for kids. Hip-hop dance classes are now offered Monday afternoons. To register or get more information, please visit the Recreation website. Baseball and softball coaches are needed for the spring season that is coming up. Please reach out to the Recreation Department to volunteer. Registration for baseball and softball will be coming up soon. This year's Pack the House series at the Hack Pack includes performances by Stella Cole, Phony PPL, Goosey, and Paula Cole. Ticket information can be found on the Hack Pack website. Sorry if I pronounced those wrong. A reminder to sign up for our Nixle Alert system if you haven't done so already. Alerts and notifications regarding inclement weather are posted on the city website, social media, and Nixle. And then last but not least, we have the Kaplan Avenue consenting resolution is on for tonight for no left turns off of Polyfly Road. And we're also in the process of adding a parking enforcement agent to handle overnight resident parking violations, specifically in that area and areas throughout the city. That's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you very much. Okay, so clerk, we're on to our resolutions for the night.
Okay, so Resolution 26-25 is a resolution for final adoption of ordinance number 50-2024, an ordinance amending City of Hackensack redevelopment plan governing the Main Street area in need of rehabilitation. This ordinance has been published according to law and now calls for public hearing.
Can I have a motion to open to the public?
Offer?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
None opposed. Anyone wishing to speak about this ordinance and this ordinance only, please come up to the mic and give your name and address to the clerk. Seeing none, can I have a motion to close to the public?
Offer?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
None
Aye.
opposed. Now can I have a motion to adopt the ordinance?
Offer?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
None opposed.
Be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Hackensack County of Bergen and State of New Jersey that ordinance number 50-2024 has passed its second and final reading and is hereby adopted.
Right.
Resolution 27-25 is a final adoption of ordinance number 1-2025, an ordinance to amend Chapter 107 of the Code of the City of Hackensack, licenses and permits, establishing recreation department fees. This ordinance has been published according to law and now calls for public hearing.
And clerk, we're going to pull this from the
Is
agenda?
that what you want to do?
Yes.
What? Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
So
Okay.
do I need a motion for that?
No.
You know, if you're just.
Yes, we're going to just pull it, we want,
Without objection, then you can.
No.
no, anyone object? We're going to pull it and take a better, a closer look at some of the fees, the fee changes.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so the next resolution is Resolution 28-25, which is the introduction of ordinance number 2-2025, an ordinance to amend Chapter 36 of the Code of the City of Hackensack, Cultural Arts, Department of, to name the gallery at Hackpack in honor of Ruth Bayer Newstetter.
Can I have a motion to introduce?
Offer.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 None opposed.
Can I just make sure at the next meeting that they, when it's adopted, they may wish to be here for that?
Certainly.
Be it resolved that the above ordinance being ordinance 2-2025 is introduced, is now passed on first reading, and that said ordinance shall be considered for final passage at a meeting to be held on February 11th, 2025, at 8:00 p.m. or as soon thereafter as the matter can be reached at the regular meeting place of the City Council. And at such time and place, all persons interested be given an opportunity to be heard concerning said ordinance, and that the city clerk be and she is hereby authorized and directed to publish said ordinance according to law with a notice of its introduction and passage on first reading, and of the time and place when and where said ordinance will be further considered for final passage.
Okay, resolution 2925.
This is a resolution for the introduction of ordinance number 3-2025, an ordinance to establish a new chapter 105 of the Code of the City of Hackensack to be named lead-based paint inspection for residential rental dwellings to ensure compliance with state law requirements.
Can I have a motion to introduce?
Offer.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
None opposed.
Be it resolved that the above ordinance being ordinance 3-2025 is introduced, is now passed on first reading, and that said ordinance shall be considered for final passage at a meeting to be held on February 11th, 2025 at 8:00 p.m. or as soon thereafter as the matter can be reached at the regular meeting place of the City Council, and at such time and place all persons interested be given an opportunity to be heard concerning said ordinance, and that the city clerk be and she is hereby authorized and directed to publish said ordinance according to law with a notice of its introduction and passage on first reading, and of the time and place when and where said ordinance will be further considered for final passage.
Resolution 30-25.
This is a resolution designating redeveloper and authorizing redevelopment agreement with 123 Anderson Street Urban Renewal LLC for the redevelopment of Block 425, Lot 1, otherwise known as 123 Anderson Street, within the 123 Anderson Street redevelopment plan area.
Can I have a motion to approve?
Offer.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
None opposed. Can I have resolution 3125?
This is a resolution for the introduction of ordinance number 4-2025, an ordinance authorizing financial agreement with 123 Anderson Street Urban Renewal LLC, an urban renewal entity authorized pursuant to the long-term tax exemption law NJSA 40A:20-1 et sec for the for the development of a residential apartment project upon Block 425, Lot 1.
Can I have a motion to introduce?
Offer.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. None opposed.
Be it resolved that the above ordinance being ordinance 4-2025 is introduced, is now passed on first reading, and that said ordinance shall be considered for final passage at a meeting to be held on February 11th, 2025, at 8:00 p.m. or as soon thereafter as the matter can be reached at the regular meeting place of the City Council, and at such time and place all persons interested be given an opportunity to be heard concerning said ordinance, and that the city clerk be and she is hereby authorized and directed to publish said ordinance according to law, with a notice of its introduction and passage on first reading, and of the time and place when and where said ordinance will be further considered for final passage.
Resolution 3225.
This is a resolution for the introduction of ordinance number 5-2025, an ordinance to amend Chapter 32, Section 8 of the Code of the City of Hackensack with respect to fees charged to utilize Hackensack police officers for extra duty details.
Can I have a motion to introduce?
Offer.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Von Rudenberg.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Councilmember Pataglia.
Aye.
Councilmember Carroll.
Stay.
And Mayor LaBrus is absent. Be it resolved that the above ordinance being ordinance 5-2025 is introduced, is now passed on first reading, and that said ordinance shall be considered for final passage at a meeting to be held on February 11th, 2025, at 8:00 p.m. or as soon thereafter as the matter can be reached at the regular meeting place of the City Council, and at such time and place all persons interested be given an opportunity to be heard concerning said ordinance, and that the city clerk be and she is hereby authorized and directed to publish said ordinance according to law, with a notice of its introduction and passage on first reading, and of the time and place when and where said ordinance will be further considered for final passage.
Resolution 3325.
This
And I
is,
just want to point out that 3225, you're going to send that to the planning board as well for consistency review.
32,
No,
the
for
one I just
33,
did,
for the one-
the one I just had.
For the
One on
stormwater one that's
33?
coming up.
Yeah, so 33.
Yeah.
So I get the numbers wrong.
Yeah, I also have a extended date for when it's be adopted to allow for that.
Yeah, so,
Okay.
good.
So this is an introduction of ordinance number 6-2025, an ordinance to amend and update chapter 141, article 7 of the Code of the City of Hackensack, stormwater control to reflect amendments to state regulations.
Can I have a motion to introduce?
Offer.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
None opposed.
Be it resolved that the above ordinance, being ordinance 6-2025, is introduced, is now passed on first reading, and that said ordinance shall be considered for final passage at a meeting to be held on February 25th, 2025, at 8:00 p.m. or soon thereafter, as the matter can be reached at the regular meeting place of the City Council, and at such time and place all persons interested be given an opportunity to be heard concerning said ordinance, and that the city clerk be and she is hereby authorized and directed to publish said ordinance according to law with a notice of its introduction and passage on first reading, and of the time and place when and where said ordinance will be further considered for final passage.
Resolution 3425.
This is a resolution commemoratively renaming Club Way to Lillian Whitaker Way.
May I have a motion to accept?
Offer.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. None opposed. Resolution 3525.
This is a resolution authorizing agreement with Hackensack Meridian Health, Hackensack University Medical Center to provide certain community health educational services.
May I have a motion to approve?
Offer.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
None opposed. Resolution 3625.
It's a resolution of the City Council of the City of Hackensack committing to fourth round present and prospective need affordable housing obligations.
Can I have a motion to
Offer.
approve?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
None opposed. Resolution 3725.
This is a resolution authorizing tax refunds for state board judgments, county board judgments, duplicate payments, payments made in error, and overpayments.
Can I have a motion to approve?
Offer.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. None opposed. Resolution 3825.
This is a resolution authorizing tax appeal attorney to settle the cases on the attached list dated January 21st, 2025, that were scheduled for trial or settlement.
Can I have a motion to approve?
Offer.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. None opposed. Resolution 3925.
It's a resolution authorizing 100% veteran deduction for Block 589, Lot 23.
Can I have a motion to approve?
Offer.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
None opposed. Resolution 40-25.
It's a resolution authorizing 100% veteran deduction for Block 455.02, Lot 48.
Can I have a motion to approve?
Offer.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
None opposed. Resolution 4125.
It's a resolution authorizing the City of Hackensack to fix the rate of interest to be charged for non-payment of taxes, assessments, or any other municipal charges.
Can I have a motion to approve?
Offer.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. None opposed. Resolution 4225.
This is a resolution authorizing tax collector to cancel small balances.
Can I have a motion to approve?
Offer.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
None opposed. Resolution 4325.
This is a resolution authorizing an accelerated tax lien sale.
Can I have a motion to approve?
Offer.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
None opposed. Resolution 4425.
It's a resolution approving transfer of the 2024 budget appropriations.
Can I have a motion to approve?
Offer.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
None opposed. Resolution 4525.
It's a resolution for approval of amendment to the 2025 temporary budget.
Can I have a motion to approve?
Offer.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
None opposed. Resolution 4625.
A resolution authorizing accrued time payout of $25,363.04 to retire DPW mechanic Holmes Izquierdo.
Can I have a motion to approve?
Offer.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. None opposed. Resolution 4725.
Say resolution authorizing change order number 1 to New Prince Concrete for various sewer infrastructure improvements.
Can I have, excuse me, can I have a motion to approve?
Offer.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
None opposed. Resolution 4825.
Say resolution authorizing change order number 7, which is the final, to Vortex for REMA HMGP CCTV for IDA grant.
Can I have a motion to approve?
Offer.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. None opposed. Resolution 4925.
This is a resolution awarding national co-op contracts for the purchase of 500 IPL 95-gallon refuse containers in the amount of $26,654.50.
Can I have a motion to approve?
Offer.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
None opposed. Resolution 50-25.
It's a resolution for award of contract for LSRP engineering services to Suburban Consulting Engineers for Fire Headquarters Remediation Project.
Can I have a motion to approve?
Offer.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
None opposed. Resolution 5125.
It's a resolution authorizing payment of bills.
Can I have a motion to approve?
Offer.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
None opposed. All right, Deb, we have a couple we have to pull for conflicts in the consent agenda.
Okay.
I think, Jerry, you said 52 and 61, yes?
Correct.
So if you'd pull 52 and 61, and we'll vote on them separately.
61. Okay, hold on one second. 52. And 60. Okay. So the consent agenda,
It's a long one.
Yeah, it's a very long one.
the following items are considered to be routine in nature and will be enacted in one motion. Any items requiring expenditure are supported by a certification of availability of funds. Any items requiring discussion will be removed from the consent agenda, and consent agenda items will be reflected in full in the minutes, including any exceptions and/or additions. Resolution 53-25 is a resolution authorizing revised council meeting dates for 2025. Resolution 54-25 is a resolution to extend shared service agreement with the Township of Teaneck for health officer services to April 15th, 2025. Resolution 55-25 is a resolution authorizing application to the New Jersey Department of Community Affairs 2025 Local Recreation Improvement Grant Program for improvements to Fashini Park. Resolution 56-25 is a resolution designating Lisa Marie Shalala as recycling coordinator and authorizing submission of recycling tonnage grant application. Resolution 57-25 is a resolution authorizing execution of agreement with Otterstat Agency for Risk Management Services. Resolution 58-24 is a resolution consenting to limit northbound left turn movements from Polyfly Road to Kaplan Avenue during peak rush hour periods and requesting prompt implementation of said limitation by Bergen County. Resolution 59-25 is a resolution authorizing adoption of the agreement between the City of Hackensack and the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 1158, Public Safety Telecommunicators for period January 1, 2023 through December 31, 2027. Resolution 60-25 is a resolution authorizing leave of absence without pay for Karina Buono, Public Safety Communicator, for 12 weeks commencing on January 5, 2025, and terminating on March 29, 2025. Resolution 62-25 is a resolution authorizing endorsement of proposed Bergen County Community Development Grants. Resolution 63-25 is a resolution authorizing approval of professional service agreement for City Attorney to Cleary, Giacobi, Alfieri, Jacobs LLC. Resolution 64-25 is a resolution authorizing approval of professional service agreement for Special Litigation Counsel to Dario Albert Metz Ironman Cannon Ortiz and Kraus LLC. Can I just say, everybody? Resolution 65-25 is a resolution authorizing approval of professional service agreement for special litigation to Post Pollock, PA. Resolution 66-25 is a resolution authorizing approval of professional service agreement for Affordable Housing Council to Sheranian, Edwards, Buzak, and Nolan LLC. Resolution 67-25 is a resolution authorizing approval of professional service agreement for labor attorney to Wiss and Borgi. Resolution 68-25 is a resolution authorizing approval of professional service agreement to Tax Appeal Council to Chasen, Lamparello, Mallon, and Capuzzo, PC. Resolution 69-25 is a resolution authorizing approval of professional service agreement for Special Litigation Counsel to Murphy Orlando LLC. Resolution 70-25 is a resolution authorizing approval of professional service agreement for Special Litigation Counsel to Trank Isabel Siddig and Shananian PC. Wait a minute, I don't want to screw this up, okay. And Resolution 71-25 is a resolution authorizing approval of professional service agreement for Special Counsel for Redevelopment, including related litigation, to Spiro, Harrison, and Nelson LLC. Resolution 72-25 is a resolution authorizing approval of professional service agreement for Special Litigation Counsel to Bian Camano and Di Stefano PC. Resolution 73-25 is a resolution authorizing supplemental funding request to the State of New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection Green Acres Program for Fashini Park. Resolution 74-25 is a resolution authorizing board and committee appointments. And Resolution 75-25 is a resolution authorizing raffle license. So we need a motion for the consent agenda as read.
May I have a motion to approve the consent agenda as read?
Offer.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
None opposed.
Okay.
Okay, Deb, then could we do Resolution 52-25?
We need to do 52-25, which is a resolution authorizing City of Hackensack through the City of Hackensack Police Department to participate in the Defense Logistics Agency Law Enforcement Support Office 1033 program to enable the City of Hackensack Police Department to request and acquire excess Department of Defense equipment.
Can I have a motion to approve?
Offer.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
No, you have to do roll
Oh,
call
no.
vote.
Oh, I have to do roll call, I'm sorry, Jerry. Roll call.
Councilmember Von Rudenberg.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Councilmember Pataglia.
Aye.
Councilmember Carroll.
Abstain.
And Mayor LaBrus is absent.
All right, then Resolution 61-25.
This is a resolution authorizing leave of absence for James Hahn, police officer, for 6 weeks commencing January 13th, 2025, and terminating February 28th, 2025.
Roll call.
Need a motion?
Oh, motion. Can I have a motion to, I was getting ahead of myself. Can I
Offer.
have a motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor?
Councilmember Von
Oh,
Rudenberg.
see, and I said roll call
Aye.
first, and now I took it back. Roll call.
Member Von Rudenberg.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Councilmember Pataglia.
Aye.
Councilmember Carroll.
Abstain.
Mayor LaBrus is absent. Okay, that concludes.
And thank you,
The doc.
clerk. Thank you, Debbie. That was a lot on the agenda tonight. You got to do a lot of reading, and we appreciate that. Okay, so time to open up for the public comment.
Okay.
Can I have a motion to open to the public?
Anybody?
Offer.
Second.
All in favor?
Anybody?
Aye.
Aye.
None opposed? Anyone who would like to speak, please come up to the microphone and give your name and address to the clerk, and you'll be limited to 3 minutes.
Good evening, Council. Marlene Somerville, resident of Hackensack. So, 2 quick questions. The first one is for, currently on the block on Berry Street, they put in stickers, right, that you needed for overnight parking. What happens when there is, your garage is on one side, but your home number is on the other side? So we are having some problems with some of the neighbors whose home address, right, is actually D. Wolf, but your street address for your garage is actually Berry. So when they went to City Hall, to the city manager's office, they were told that they could not get a sticker.
We've been writing letters for them.
Okay, so the next door neighbor actually knocked and asks if I was coming here to ask the question because they went to City Hall and was told by the lady in there that they couldn't get a sticker for the thing. So just tell them to come back for writing a letter? Okay, no problem.
Ask for me, I don't know who they spoke to, but I've been
Okay.
getting them for a whole bunch of people.
Thank you. So I'll give that information to them. And then the second one is on Fairmont. So I know what you guys are doing for Kaplan, commendable, thank you very much. But the same question was asked for Fairmont, right? About putting in front of the school, whether or not we could put 2 of the humps so that going, especially in the morning time for the volume of traffic. Like, I'm a secondary parent to my sister's kids. And I'm responsible for dropping my niece off at Fairmont School pretty much 3 mornings of the week. My daughter does it the other 2 mornings. But it's chaos, like the speeding through, even when the police officers are there, the pulling up in the double parking. So is there anything can be done about, at the start between where Fairmont Avenue is and then the other one, to put maybe just 2 speed bumps in there, so when you get to the school, you actually have to slow down to go over those 2?
We've been trying to get that done, and we actually had the police looking at it. Vinny, if you could respond to that?
Yeah, that's the next street that we're going to look at, that particular area, and also Fairmont Avenue is another location that's requested them. So, but in front of the school, we're gonna look into that very shortly, now that we got Kaplan out of the way. All right?
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
You're welcome, thank you.
All right, I'm just going to follow up with what this young lady said before me. I'm Rich Serbo, Spring Valley Ave, and Spring Valley Avenue is, I'm telling you, it's out of control. There are heavy vehicles, trucks, and buses are speeding on Spring Valley Avenue all friggin' day, okay? And the buses are empty. Anybody want to follow up on that? Somebody should have that job, watching the buses and seeing how many are empty, how many are not. I bet you it's 99% empty. They're empty. The state is just going to run this fleet all over the state. They don't care. They're just paying out. Government is we'll pay for anything as long as somebody's working in that department. And I think the trend now, which we're getting from the federal government, is cuts. I love it. It's great. Why not have that filter down here to local government and start making cuts? It's ridiculous. This is a private club. We just read Debbie just read the chart, or whatever you call it, the agenda, and it's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, come on, it's Byzantine almost. It's ridiculous what's going on. Nobody knows what the heck is being spent on those issues on the agenda. What the heck are you spending? You're spending over $100 million here to run a city, and every city next to us is doing the same thing. This is crazy. Local government is out of control. They're spending too much. It's not just the federal government. It's the state government. It's the county government. It's local government. Start cutting back. You got to do it. Thank you.
Thank you, Rich.
Okay, this one is coming.
Do we have anything updated on Spring Valley, Vinny? I know we
Nothing.
struggle back and forth with that. We have no, we're still, it's a county road, and you know that we have issues there trying to get
Can I
things done.
compare to the New Jersey Transit?
As far as spending, we have our CFO in the audience. I mean, last year, we actually cut our levy. Yeah, I mean, we cut our appropriations, yes? So our spending, even though we had, as not including insurance. So if we took the health insurance away, the rest of, yeah.
Without insurance.
Yes, without the insurance. I mean, insurance prices are killing everyone, whether it's on a personal level or definitely in the city. I mean, last year we had to increase our insurance amount by $7 million, Jim, if I'm remembering, and $7 million, but yet we only increased the appropriations by 6-something, because we actually took the expenses from the prior year and cut them by, I think, around 800,000, if I'm remembering my numbers right, Jim? Yeah.
The insurance increase was larger than the entire rest of the budget.
Yeah, yeah. So, everyone is seeing those on a personal level, and the city's not absolved from that either. So, unfortunately, right now, this is the world we live in, and rising health insurance costs are really through the roof for all of us. But we're continuing to do the best we can, and we're blessed to have Jim, who's a great CFO, and I'm sure we're gonna sharpen pencils again this year, right, Jim?
Yeah.
Next person, thank you.
Hi, Douglas Garofalo, 342 Anderson Street, Hackensack. I commend what the mayor and council, deputy mayor, your comments about the insurance and CFO. I am an accountant myself. I work for the Diocese of Patterson, and between the diocese itself and the parishes, yes, property insurance, property casualty is the biggest killer of all the budgets. That's not why I came up. I commend the woman who spoke and you, Mr. Serbo, regarding the streets and traffic. We have a four-way stop at Anderson and Prospect. We're a few houses in, and invariably, at least once a week, there is either an accident or a near miss, 24/7. Cars are racing through that four-way stop, especially at night when they are coming north on Prospect and they see no lights coming east or west on Anderson. They don't even stop. We can see it. I hear them. It's ridiculous. Well, last summer, the police there were a few houses up. They were monitoring it, and they pulled over many, many people who were just blowing through it or yielding, whatever it is. On the other side of Anderson Street, I believe it's in Maywood, there's the flashing perimeters of the outline of the stop signs, flashing lights. We would like you, a lot of the neighbors are complaining, same complaint, because we feel bad for all the people. We're not in the accidents. A couple of times, I shouldn't say that, we are. We're involved in almost near misses. We'd like the city to look into either installing those stop signs that are activated, that are solar, activated when 24 hours, whatever it is, or as the woman said about speed bumps, maybe put rumble strips or something, 4 or 5 houses in, going down Anderson towards Prospect, something to slow all these cars down. It's crazy. It's a drag strip. They either blow through it or speed off the four-way stop, and someone eventually, unfortunately, will probably die from an accident. So, but we appreciate everything the city's doing. There's a lot going on in our city. We appreciate all the progress and everything that's happening. So we'd like a little assistance in looking into that. We appreciate it if you could do that.
Thank you. Maybe let's add that to our list of streets. I drive that way frequently, and I know exactly what you're talking about, and I've seen people go right through it as well, so.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor.
I'll take care of it.
Thanks. Anyone else? Seeing no one, can I have a motion to close to the public?
Offer.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
None opposed? You have to say it loudly in Left Leo. You can't whisper. I'm glad he finds this entertaining. It's been a long night. Steph, you always go first, so do you have some comments for tonight?
Sure. Just sorry again I couldn't be there in person, but it was a very special night to honor Mrs. Whitaker and Bethel Church, and excited to hear about some movement on Fashini Park. I know that's been a long time in the making, so to see some movement on that's great. And that's it. Everyone have a great night.
Thank you, Steph. Leo?
Congratulations again to the members of the church for the anniversary, 100 years. That's a long time of service. DPW did a good job with the leaders know that we got, but they had to make sure that around the areas of the park where the kids sometimes they're walking, like Anderson Street and Union Street, they had to take care of the sidewalks. I think it was the right thing to do to name Cloudway the name of Lillian Whitaker. She was a wonderful person. And we continue with the effort to put all the specs ready for the paving in the month of April and fixing the documentation to improve Fashini Park and Columbus Park. I recommend Mr. Servo that the only way maybe go to the county or maybe go to New Jersey Transit to try to eliminate few of the buses. They are coming there with no passengers, so they are wasting, a lot of money. And about the speeding, I've been complaining for years, and the only thing that I can see in other cities is to put the speed bumps. The people and the phone, now they are using marijuana, they're high, they don't pay attention. One of these days, we're gonna have somebody dead because they don't respect at all the stop sign, they don't respect the speed limits, and it's not only Fairmont Avenue, it's Spring Valley, it's Grand Avenue, it's all over the city. So the different towns, when I go around, Bergenfield was the last one that I saw, they got the speed bumps. It's the only way to try to force these people to reduce the speed. You know, there's no other way. Thank you. Good night.
Chair?
Congratulations to Bethel Church for their 100th year celebration, and to the Whitaker family for having the street named after Lillian. Thank everyone for showing up. Get home safe. God bless. Good luck.
Thank you, Jerry. Yes, I have to echo both of those remarks. You know, it was so nice to have so many people come to the council meeting tonight. You know, the church celebrating 100 years. I mean, what a wonderful milestone. And even have some of the parishioners actually come and attend. It shows what a great place in their heart church is for them. And these are the kinds of things we love to celebrate here in the city of Hackensack. And Ms. Whitaker, I mean, you could see the support for her, the wonderful life she led, all she did for us in the city. And it certainly is a small token to name Club Way after her, and well-deserved. And the many children and the many lives she's affected will know that when they drive by, that she's still looking over Nellie K. Parker School. So I think that's really will be a wonderful tribute for the city to do. You know, while we're talking about the school, you know, we've been talking for quite a long time about building a new school, and the city is working with the Board of Education in that regard. And, you know, we're hoping we can really get this done. I've talked about this a few times before at council meetings. You know, the city has made the offer to buy some properties for the school, that the school has chosen the properties. We're offering to give them the use of and build over one of our parking lots. And we had such wonderful plans that were all together. And, you know, with the transition, the folks that really put their heart and soul into this, I have to say, was some of our board members that are no longer on the board. You know, Lance Powell, we worked so closely for years on this, and Marlene. And Mr. Vickery, the president, and we were so close. We were at the point where we were ready to buy this particular piece of property. And, you know, we had a transition, and we have new board members, and, you know, it seems like we're not moving forward. So I pray that they will quickly, before these properties are sold to someone else, that they will quickly come on board with the rest of the board and all of the hard work that their predecessors have put in place, along with the city and the CFO for coming up with monies and ways to fund this. We need to get this done, folks. You know, this has been put off for way too long. We're this close to moving forward. Let's accelerate this, and I hope if the board members are listening that they will come forward with the city, and let's make this happen, folks. It's very, very, very important. A couple other things, I usually go through some highlights of what's on the agenda. That's always what I talk about. Just very quickly, there's something on here talking about changes to the rehab plan. One of the issues that have come up in the downtown has been not only looking at new businesses and new buildings coming into the downtown, but some of the old buildings where they now want to bring in a new retail. So they want to bring in a new business. And because we were doing a lot of building in the downtown, we had very strict parking requirements for anything that's being built. And that's unfortunate because some of the old buildings will never meet that parking requirement. So we made a change that if you're an old existing building, not a new building, and you're bringing in a new business, your parking requirement will be exactly what you have now, unless you're almost like grandfathered in, plus parking for your employees, because that's important. So I think that's a significant change to kind of focus on some of the older buildings that we want to keep and maintain in the downtown too. So that was, I think, a fairly prominent one on tonight's agenda. Naming, you know, the Hack Art Studio for Ruth Newsteader is just, I mean, we all agreed. You know, Ruth really founded that and put her heart and soul into it. So we just introduced the ordinance, so it will be at the next meeting where that ordinance, there'll be a hearing. So folks that are interested and want to come celebrate Ruth might want to come to the next meeting about that. And then we're planning, I guess, in the spring, when we get the plaques made and whatever, that we're gonna actually have a celebration at the Hack Pack in the art studio, and you know, have a little celebration for Ruth. So we'll look forward to having that. Another important thing tonight, there was a few things on tonight about affordable housing, you know, that basically we're moving forward with our affordable housing plan, and we're blessed in the city that because we've been building and because we have surplus, that we have no new to-build requirement. And what that means is that puts us in a very good position where with some of the new ones that are now going to be built on top of what we provided, we will hopefully, yes, we're close to saying we will hopefully be able to put a Hackensack preference on some of these new affordable housings that's going to be built in the overlay zone. So they'll be included in some of the new buildings in the overlay zone. And if we can get that Hackensack preference, because we're at zero, I think that's a real boost, and that's something that the folks in town have been wanting for a very long time, as well as this entire council has. Unfortunately, there's just lots of rules, as usual in government, but we're there now. By being able to meet that, I'm hoping we can move forward and see that, and I think that would be wonderful. Thank you, everyone who continued to stick around. We appreciated having you, and I hope you enjoyed some of the celebrations during this evening as well, and hope to see you again next time. Motion to close the meeting?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None.